Good afternoon, it's Blackie for Shaman's Forge Bushcraft. I recently did a video on the blanket roll and had several comments and several people asked for me to expand it a little bit. So I'd like to take this opportunity to show you a few more variations of the blanket roll. Now in my previous video I showed how to lay it out, fold it flat and roll it up into a relatively round flat pack like this. But there are other ways of doing it. Now anybody that's seen the Civil War movies and stuff has seen whenever the soldiers carried their blanket roll draped across them. If you want to try it like that, it's a very good way to carry your gear quickly. Disadvantage: sweat wets your blanket and it's hot against you when it's up against you like that and choking you. So you need to figure out, like for example, I want access to my knife, my canteen on this side. I want the end of the blanket to come to this side of my body. Reverse if I need it the other way. So you got to put it like a yoke, which is what this is called, a yoke. So rather than lengthways, you fold your blanket up sideways, short length versus long length. Okay? Now all I've done is doubled it in half and then took the two ends and doubled it up to the top. See? Okay. Now what I want to do is, in here in the main strip, this middle section is going to be bearing down on my shoulder. So it doesn't need any gear in it. Starting in the middle is where I want to put my gear. Now my shelter is going to go right through the middle. Big clunky stuff like my axe and my saw is going to go on the ends. My hammock is going to go on the end. My bank line is going to go on the end. And any soft, fluffy stuff like an extra bandana or this net, I'll do a video on this soon. This is a good piece of gear. Goes on the end. I think that end will be better. Now, if you fold it up this way, it looks good, but it isn't really well secured. They can wiggle out of these holes. So what you want to do is this. You want to pull the materials up near the top edge, like this, remembering that you're going to tie the very end. So have your ties ready. And then you're going to roll over like this. Make sure you get at least 2 full rolls of material. Now, once I get it like that, I want to take and bow it into a yoke. Now, take your ties and starting at the bottom, make sure that the very bottom is fully secured together, tightly, because you do not want that opening and dumping your gear out. So the way that I do it is, I start on one side with one of my bushcraft zip ties, and I want to pull it just as tight as I can get it on that end. Okay, now coming around, go back between them and pull it as tight as I can get it. Coming between them and going around. And then I'm going to tie it off right here. Now, I'm going to add another piece of cord here just to make sure I got plenty to tie with. I'm just simply going to put a square knot in the line so they bite to each other. I'm going to go all the way around the outside at least twice, pull it tight, and then come back up here and anchor it. A couple of half hitches. Just like that. This way I can get it open if it's been wet, but it's not, a problem. Now, come up here about a foot of space at the top, right about here, and you want to put one gatherer there. on both sides. Doesn't have to be blood tight. It just keeps the blanket from unrolling as you're wearing it. Now, this is a great way to improvise a pack if you're in a situation where you don't have a pack and you got to carry gear. You got a tarp, you got a rain poncho, you got a blanket, you got a bedspread, whatever. This is how you do it. Now, just like that. Now, by folding my blanket short, I'm a relatively good sized guy. I'm about 185 pounds and I got like a 46-inch chest, and this is a standard U.S. Army blanket. Notice how it's on me. See? It's like a donut you wear around your middle section. If I shoot left-handed, my shoulder's open. If I'm shooting right-handed with a weapon, I need to be the other way. Okay? Like so. Now, it's not a big burden to carry it like this. You can swap from side to side, but you still want to keep it light, easy to transport. It frees up your hands for toting other things. This can also easily be converted into a pack this way. Let me show you that. Take your two loops, come up to the bottom, come over, and then run the loops, your lines back through. Pull it up, take the two lines, come down here at your cinch points, and make quick half hitches. Now you've got a donut pack. You can carry it like that. Now take the strain off your shoulders, come up here and take a piece of cord or something, and tie the two ropes together. Not blood tight, you don't want it pinching on your neck, but you want it to just take the pressure off of your collarbone just a little bit, and it makes it a whole lot more comfortable to carry this kind of pack. Now, it's a simple way to improvise a pack. You don't have to have a blanket. Like I said, you can use a tarp, whatever. You can use a big pair of pants where you tie the end of the breeches legs tight together, put your gear in, fold them up and tie it to the tops of the belt loops. Make a pack. There's a lot of ways to improvise a pack, and that's basically what any blanket roll is considered an improvised pack or a way to carry. Now, you can also take it and notice how quick it comes apart. You can also take it and do this to it. Going right through the middle. Get my ropes right. Go right through the middle. Right up to the top. Like that. Bring these two ends together down here. Just like that. Now this makes a pack that's really short and wide. Now, advantage to this. If you're doing a lot of climbing in rough, terrain where you don't need something long on your back, it's going to bind your ability to look up or things like that. You can make the bedroll do like this and give you more momentum, more movement ability. Just like this. Now, see how it fits my back? Short. Canteens, butt packs, things like that I already have on here. Knives are accessible, and this isn't hanging down long like the first blanket roll I showed you. It's also below my neck, so I can do this to look up. It keeps it tight against my body, and by tying these ropes together in front, it frees up my hands and takes all the pressure off my shoulders. Now it's binding to me. Now you don't want this blood tight, like I said, just snug. And you'll know, when it doesn't bounce around on you when you walk. Just like that. Rides pretty securely. Just like that. Well, I hope that gives you a few more ideas to do with the blanket roll. Again, it's for ultralight, it's for improvise, it's for carrying that little bit of gear when you don't want to carry a big gear. A light pack is actually better in many ways, but it does have its place, and occasionally I will carry a blanket roll with a hatchet stuck into it, slung across, and rely on my haversack and that for a camp. This is an old way. Of course, you see pictures of the Civil War and even before. This was a common way that soldiers carried their gear. Their personal belongings would be spread out in it, rolled up, gathered up into a yoke, a horseshoe, or like I've got here, this sort of, donut. It could just be rolled up flat and put on their back. The one real advantage of doing it this way versus the first pack roll I showed you where it rolled up, the first pack roll is this broad. Notice how this is. It keeps it close to your back, and therefore your center of gravity isn't pulling you further back. Again, rough terrain, this would be an easier way to carry it. I hope it gives you some ideas, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. I enjoy making them for you. I'm Blackie for Shaman's Forge Bushcraft, wishing you safe journeys. Have a great day, guys.